So tell me, how did you meet Dad?
I met him through Anna and Gregor. Someday I was invited by them, and he came too. And we really didn't think we would go out together.
No? Why is that?
Well, I don't know. I really can't tell you, but eventually he called a few times and then we went out. Dad went to the place where Gregor worked and had to fix machines, printing presses.
Uh-huh.
And I worked in a knitting mill with Anna.
Start.
And someday, when I was visiting, Gregor said, I would know a man for Irene.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and then when we met in their apartment.
Oh, so you met them at their apartment? Is
Yes.
That right? How long did you date her, or did you go out, or?
We only dated about 6 months.
And then did he ask you to marry him?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And was that quick?
Yeah, we married 2 weeks later after Aunt Margaret and Uncle Gerhard.
Yeah. Was it that?
Yeah. They came back from the honeymoon, and naturally he had to go back to Germany to the army, and in that time we got married.
Uncle Gerhard had to go back.
Yeah, he had to go back because he came for his wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was in October, of course, October 11th.
That was September 27, and we got married October 11.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Well, you said you were married here in City Hall?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And then in Germany we had a church wedding.
Well, how long ago was from?
That was in January.
That was in January?
We went in December.
And that was the church that we saw in Lundberg.
Yeah.
That was that big church.
Yeah.
And what was it? Everybody? How many people were there? Was it like a?
Oh, my mother and dad, step-parents came, and Annie Margaret and Uncle Gerhard were there naturally, and.
So they came again too. Yeah, but it was in Germany at that time.
And Dad's cousins and relatives. He still had his uncle then, and his mother.
How long were you at Stephen Street?
Oh, I would say 4 years.
4 years?
Yeah.
Was it that long? And then
4 or 3 anyway. Yeah. Well, we married in 58, and you were born in 64. So that was 6 years.
6 years.
Because 5 years we were there, because we moved in on 68 Road, and the next year in May you were born, and we moved in May. Yeah. So that was our lucky time that you, when we were there, that you came.
And then you moved to 68th Road after that.
Yeah.
That's when you met Mr. and Mrs. Rady.
No, that's where you were born, and we were there already.
That's right.
You came to that house. Yeah. I was born here, but my father passed away, and that was in 1935. Uncle Gerhard was born in 1934, and actually he never knew his father. But my mother was pretty sad and lonesome, because she wanted to go back. And they wrote she should come back, So, and it was not such a good time at that time.
Yeah, that was during, like, in the 30s, right? 30.
Yeah.
So, Germany?
Yeah.
Was that, where was that?
That was, Bachmann.
Bachmann? Where is it, southern or northern?
It's also in Württemberg. It's southern more, you know.
What did you have to, why there?
Well, because I had to, it was customary that you had to be in a household with a family for 1 year.
For 1 year?
Yeah. And
these were your relations?
it was a relationship, yeah. He was in the war, but the wife and the 4 children were in a little hick town, not even a town. It was just a few people way up in the mountains. And it was really very, remote, very put away. Yeah.
And what did you do there?
Well, I had to take care of the kids and help with the cooking and cleaning.
So this lasted an entire year?
Yes.
And then
after that, I went to sewing school.
Sewing school?
Yeah, I mean, there was how should I say, there was a place like for runaway girls. And that's where my grandfather gave singing lessons and music. Yeah. And they asked if I could learn sewing there. So they didn't want to reject it, and I went there for a while. And then after that, I worked in a kindergarten.
Kindergarten?
Yeah.
Taking care of the kids and stuff?
Taking care of little kids, yeah.
How long did that last?
Oh, that was till the war was over.
So the what? That was 45?
45, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And then,
and then I thought, gee whiz, just being always the maid for the relatives. I want to try something different, and I decided to go to America after a while. That was in 48.
Now, what did Uncle Gerhard do? I mean, was he...
Uncle Gerhard was by my father's relatives.
So when you left Germany, he was still there.
Yeah. And poor Uncle Gerhard, it was, how should I say, the airplanes went over that Kusterding and where we were. And they dropped their bombs, a few, and they were sitting in the cellar and was burning. The house burned down. They were just about able to get up again. So.
And how old was Uncle Gerhard around then?
Well, 34, 44, about 14.
14 at that time.
13 or 14.
That was towards the end of the war, of course.
Yeah.
So you left Germany when after
48. I left.
In 48, and when did Uncle Gerhard leave?
Oh, then 55. I went to Germany. 1955, and Uncle Gerhard just decided all on his own. He didn't tell nobody before that he is planning to go to America too.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, and Emmy went to Germany at the same time, and they came back together.
You and Aunt Emmy?
And Emmy and Uncle Gerhard.
Uncle Gerhard, so you went basically to get him.
Yeah, well, no, not really. I went out for a visit, I didn't know before that he wants to come to, but I guess he also just saw no future there, I worked at the airplane factory in Farmingdale.
In Republic?
Republic, yes.
Yeah, and you were welding and things like that?
Yeah.
But you said you'd do it during the night and stuff
it had to be night. I couldn't get the daytime job right away.
Did Uncle Gerhard join the Army quick after coming to America fairly quickly, or?
Well, they got married in 58.
Yeah.
58, and that's when he was in Germany already before.
That was...
I had to go for 2 years.
Soon you would be married then.
Yeah,
right after that.
Around the same time.
Yeah.
In September.
So,
and I was in October.
After you had me, what were any highlights or events after or before? How did Dad take the pregnancy?
Oh, he was happy, yeah.
He was happy?
He was happy. And he was happy that it was a son,
Really?
Yeah.
Was he that kind of stuck on a son, or just... Or was
I
it
guess in a way, you know, that,
was it that old thing like he wants to continue the line type deal?
yeah, I
Was that?
guess so.
Or was it because of his mother or something like that?
Yeah, well, you know, they thought first they were always writing what they would like to have a grandchild. She would like to have a grandchild. Sure, but
When I was born, did his mom came here, right?
yeah, she came when you were about 2 years old.
How long did
But
this
I mean,
stay?
in that time when you were born, Oma was here. She was here for almost a year.
She was.
Yeah, she was here just when you were born.
Because I have certain memories of her.
Yeah, well,
laying on
then
my bed.
she was here a few times.
Yeah, she was.
Then she came also when you were about 2 years old.
2 years.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
so she saw me quite often.
quite a few times. Also when you were already going to school.
Mm-hmm.
She was here about 4 or 5 times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You never returned then when I was small. You never went to Germany.
No, I always wanted to go, but Dad
Busy.
said we go one way at one time. He always had that wish to go to Germany again. Yeah. But it never came to that because by then he was working for Banco and was with the union, and actually he had to have his 20 years in being in the union to get a pension. And so that kept him here, which his mother and sister didn't understand. They always thought it was me that would want to come. And then I said, he's going to be school age soon, and he has to be either English or German, you know. And so we tried German, but it was a catastrophe with you know.
But you had good times, right?
Oh, sure, we had
It
good
wasn't
times.
like.
So then you went to the American school, you know, because I couldn't see you, especially that he wanted to put the 20 years in. No way were you going to go to Germany then, right?
Yeah. So it was a long time, right?
Yeah.
And then he just wanted to go, but he knew something was wrong at the end of his life.
Yeah, he knew. I'm sure that's why he never wanted to go. I mean, every summer came, and I said, let's go again the last 4 years. And he never was ready for it, you know. Of course, in the meantime, Oma died, his mother died, and...
he took that pretty hard, did he not?
Yeah, well, he went out there for the funeral.
I remember that. He came back with presents, like a tank and a car.
Yeah. You liked that, yeah.
I remember that. Well, it was the only gifts he really gave. But I'm sure someone gave that to him.
Probably, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. And
so after a year now he's been gone here, do you miss him?
Yes, I miss him in a way, sure. It was part of our life.